Welcome back to Crashin the Boards. I'm Joe Sudbeck.
I'm Jack Pernke.
And today's episode will be about recent NBA news, recent at the time we're recording, and then playoff predictions, whether that's like sleepers, stuff like that. That'll be covered today. First thing we're going to cover is Reggie Jackson's departure from the Detroit Pistons and signing on the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest move, even bigger than some of the trades at the trade deadline.
Oh, yeah.
Just because he averages 15 points a game now. He's been a decent scorer besides his first 2 years in the NBA. And then he gets on a team that just stole another player from the Lakers.
That's
First
huge.
it was Kawhi, then it was Marcus Morris, and now Reggie Jackson. And for a team that desperately, to me, needs guard help.
The Lakers, yeah, for sure.
Especially scoring. Because LeBron, great point guard right now. He's a great player. But then you look at who they have. They don't have
who's
very
backing
good depth.
up?
Exactly.
Rondo's not a really good offensive threat.
Yeah.
He's mostly on the team to just distribute the ball.
Yeah, and then like when you have to rely on Alex Caruso sometimes to play big minutes, and it's not nothing against him. It's just, I mean, you look at who the Clippers rely on. I mean, the Clippers have their starting lineup. Even like what they want their starting lineup to be, barring injuries, is Patrick Beverly, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, Ivica Zubac. And then you have really the next one it'll be Reggie Jackson, Lou Williams, could be Landry Shamet at the 3 if they really want to get scoring, JaMychal Green and Montrezl Harrell. That'd be a halfway decent starting lineup. That's like the Pistons starting lineup almost.
Pretty much.
I mean, Montrezl Harrell better than where they have starting at center right now after Drummond left. JaMychal Green isn't great. Obviously, Blake Griffin's better, but like, come on, that's a great bench. And then like 87% of scoring from guards or wings with 8.5 points per game or more for the Clippers. That's ridiculously high. I mean, you have 27 points a game from Kawhi.
Yeah.
22 about for Paul George. 19.5 off the bench from Lou Williams.
And then 19 off the bench as well from Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, and then that's a big guy. And then you look at their other guards, about 10 points a game from Shamet, or a little more than 10 points a game from Shamet. And then you have like 8.6 from Patrick Beverly. And the Lakers, the only guys they have there are Danny Green, LeBron, KCP, and Avery Bradley. I mean, that's not great. I mean, they're good players, but 8.5 points from Avery Bradley, 8.6 from Danny Green. You need a little bit of help there, especially off the bench. You need a little help because with Rondo averaging 8 points a game, what would Reggie Jackson do if he got those minutes? I mean, if Rondo's averaging 8 points and he's not the greatest scorer, great playmaker, and if you even wanted to, you could move Reggie Jackson off the ball then. If you really want to keep Rondo at your point guard, Reggie Jackson could play the 2.
Shooting guard.
Exactly. So that's like, to me, that was one where they missed out on him, even more than Marcus Morris to me. Because you still have Kuzma, especially if they're asking to give up Kuzma. I wouldn't do that. Kuzma's only 24 years old, and he's not getting big minutes, and he still averages 13 points a game. And obviously have Anthony Davis starting and LeBron. So I don't think you need that much forward help, but Reggie Jackson would have been a huge piece to get.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then the next news which was big, was the John Beilein firing on the Cavs.
This is John Beilein's first season in the NBA. Not even 60 games.
Didn't even get a full.
Didn't even get a full 60
season.
games into the season. And
just got to the All-Star break and got fired. And I love him in college basketball. He made him and Michigan great combination. They had great years. And this year he leaves, but most of his players still there. Juwan Howard keeping it going. As a Creighton fan, I think he'd be a great coach for any team. There's going to be a lot of teams in college basketball going after him.
He just couldn't transition from the college game to the NBA game.
He's a little too old school of a coach. He's not like most NBA coaches that are kind of not as quieter in terms of they don't not yell at the players, not that, but like they're not so on top of the players all the time. They know that they're professionals, that most of them get paid more than him. So he kind of has to manage it a little bit differently. He can't manage it like a college game and force guys to do different things they don't want to do. You have to kind of let the players do them, and then you coach around them to get them better. Where in college, man, you're able to do what he did. Like,
you have full control of the team.
And he called the one in film, he called them like these players thugs or something. It was something along those lines. John Beilein said, and that's like something you can get away with that in college because the players are going to listen to you. They chose that school mainly because of you. Where in the NBA, man, especially in your first
Yeah.
year, you can't do that.
These aren't
Greg
college kids. These
Popovich
are-
probably wouldn't even get away with that because it's like, dude, he's like, man, like I'm a professional too. You can't boss me around that much. So John Beilein, tough fit in the NBA. I kind of liked it just because of who was there. You know, like maybe he can get some young guys going, but he definitely should stick around in college because he's one of the best college basketball coaches when he was at Michigan. I mean, and then now the other thing too, I just saw with the Clippers or with the Lakers, DeMarcus Cousins is out.
Yeah.
If he were to come back, what would
If
that
he comes
mean to
back
the team?
full strength, then that team would be very dangerous because then you have DeMarcus Cousins coming off your bench.
True.
And then if they get Reggie Jackson to pair with either DeMarcus Cousins or put him in the starting lineup and pair him with Anthony Davis and then move Rondo to the bench.
Up next is the playoff picture, where they're all seated now, and then maybe where we think they could move up or down, and then toughest series right now.
Yeah,
so you can go ahead and start it off going over the West.
In the West, at the first game, 1-8, you got the Lakers sitting at 41-12, and then you got the Grizzlies sitting at 28-26. I would say this game's going to be a sweep. This series is going to be a sweep.
I think the only way it goes to 5 is if the Lakers just are kind of like, we'll give you a game, or maybe they don't try hard one game.
Like they rest LeBron or rest AD.
Which they're just like, hey, like we don't care if we lose one game. We know we're going to win the series. For the Grizzlies, I would not be worried about at all what happens in the series. If you get swept, I wouldn't care. If you take them to 7 games, I would be like, great, we played 3 extra games. Because if you would have said after you trade Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, that you would be the 8th seed in the playoffs, and John Morant would be looking like an absolute NBA All-Star, you would say I would think the All-Star one would be true about John Morant, but probably not that we'd be in the 8th seed.
No.
And if we are, that's perfect learning experience in the playoffs for a young team to maybe get better. 2 versus 7 matchup, Denver-Dallas, big series.
This is like
they're only like around like 5 games behind each other from the 2 and 7. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is a super close.
33-22 for the Dallas Mavericks and 38-17 for the Denver Nuggets. That's really, really close. They've played 2 games. Both have been tight by combined total like the Dallas beat them by 3, Denver beat them by 1. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be a little European basketball, a lot of offense being played. There's gonna be some defense, but I think the depth is gonna prevail for the Nuggets. I mean, Paul Millsap's coming off the bench right now. I mean, that's huge for a playoff team. You have a guy like Paul Millsap, playoff experience, good defender, solid, scorer. That'll be big for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest surprise matchups, LA, Oklahoma City.
These two just
and LA and Clippers. I mean, that's trade in the offseason that maybe look like tank mode for the Thunder.
Tank mode for the Thunder.
It's like,
end of CP3's career.
You have it's like bang, and now they're in the playoffs as a 6 seed. I think a lot of that's with Chris Paul and his leadership, but then I think also Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
They have a strong young core.
I mean, he's a stud. He's done well. That'll be. I don't think it'll be a very close series. I think still it'll be a win for the Clippers. Now the games have been close. Oklahoma City lost by 2 early in the season, and then even a little later than that, but not too close to now. It was a 6-point win for the Thunder. So I think it'll be pretty close, but the Clippers have rested a lot of players. So I think it's going to end up being larger. I think it'll be like a 5-6 game series, but I think the Clippers will get it done with their depth. But excited to see the Thunder in the future with how many picks they got in return and what they've done this year. Now, this is probably the best series, first round, I think, other than the Denver-Dallas, is Utah-Houston. That'll be a big
rematch
4-5. Yeah.
A rematch from the playoffs last year where Houston beat them in 5 games.
So Houston beat them in 5 games last year, as Jack just said. So with the biggest,
and that was when the Rockets had Capella, but now they just got rid of him. But the Jazz still have Rudy Gobert.
I think this will be the biggest test of how small ball will work, because you're going to go against Rudy Gobert,
an all-star, big man.
and could win the defensive player of the year again for probably his third time. And he's going to dominate the paint. So it's going to test how good can you shoot the ball, and how good can you defend. It's going to be a tough series, but I think right now, I hope Utah wins. This tears me because I like the way they both play, but I just think Utah, I liked them as a team so much with Mike Conley getting on the team, Bogdanovich getting on the team. I think it's a good team. Joe Ingles, too.
The floor.
Yeah, exactly. So then now, look at the East. You got the 1-seeded Milwaukee Bucks going against Orlando Magic. that's going to be a four-win sweep.
That's going to be a 4-game sweep.
That's just, we don't have to talk about that series.
Yeah, Giannis is just going to dominate because he's not even playing full games. He's not even playing. He's only playing 30 minutes
a game.
He's only playing 30 minutes a game, and he's averaging
30 points, 30 points, 10 rebounds plus in 30 minutes. That scares playoff teams knowing how little he plays and how much he dominates the floor game.
Imagine if he gets actual playoff minutes.
Exactly. Probably he's going to get it in second MVP again this season. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at the MVP again, playing 30 minutes, and he's averaging 30-plus points. Now, the two, Toronto, Brooklyn, this is a good series. It's not going to be very close, I don't think, just because Brooklyn has no Kevin Durant. They're still injured. I think this is mainly a learning curve and learning experience because next year, this could be the 2-seeded Brooklyn Nets.
They could very well be
the 3-seeded Toronto Raptors in the second round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm,
so this is more, to me, test your wits against a team that's close to the same talent level as you when you're healthy and see who's going to do well. Because if you're only losing these games by 10 points, to me, I'm saying with Kevin Durant next year, we're winning this game by 10 points. Yeah. So we can do this right now, develop some more playoff experience. That's going to really help. Now, the two toughest series, I think, in both sides of the playoff, I think is going to be Boston, Indiana. I think it might be one of the west side, but I think it's one of the tougher ones on the east side. And that's just because if Victor Oladipo is able to get fully healthy. I mean, they played one time this year without Victor Oladipo, and the Pacers won. Now, the Celtics haven't been playing the way they have now, but still, that's tough to do. Beat the Celtics, even though you're
in
home.
Boston.
Yeah, well, no, it was at home. But still, beat the Celtics. That's a big thing to do. In the playoffs, you could do that at home, win your 2 games. That's huge. They win if you split and it's 2-2. That's big. Mm-hmm. Now Miami, Philadelphia. This is probably going to be the worst series to watch in the first round.
Why would you say that?
It's in terms of fan wise, solely defense. What that's going to be.
So you're saying it's not going to be interesting to the fans
because to the normal fans, it's not going to be as interesting because they're not going to have as much
play styles of the teams.
Flashy offense, not really. And to me, the biggest names in that game is going to be Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler. Those aren't the biggest names. I mean, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are probably the 2 most well-known guys in those 2 teams. But I like Miami's a great team.
They're a young team.
They are going to be tough to beat because they're going to stop you on defense.
They can shoot the ball. They can make plays.
If you want somebody to knock off as a Celtics fan, the Bucks, I think the Heat have the best way to do it on our side of the bracket. Because, the Bucks, we play Orlando first round. It's going to be a sweep. Then it's going to be Miami, Philadelphia. The only thing that's going to be a problem for those 2 teams is they're going to play a big, hard series, and it's going to be tough. They're going to be going to get fought around. So now they can be banged up playing against the Bucks, but they're going to give the Bucks a hard time in the second round. But I think the 76ers will have a tougher time doing that than the Heat will, just because the Heat have good guards, good bigs, great on defense.
Great shooting. Duncan Robinson, 3-point contest. This All-Star break.
And then you have Kendrick Nunn, big surprise.
Contender for the Rookie of the Year.
I think he's the Rookie of the Year. Ja Morant, you could say, if you give it to Ja Morant, I wouldn't oppose it. But, Ja Morant was expected to do some things like that. Yeah. He wasn't expected to lead him to the playoffs, but he's expected to score, expected to pass. Kendrick Nunn, undrafted free agent, starting in the NBA on a playoff team, that is tough to do.
Yeah.
Especially with Goran Dragic as his backup. What? Goran Dragic is his backup?
No one would have ever expected that.
People would be saying, no, Goran Dragic is starting. Now, the 9-seed Portland Trailblazers, what do? Do you tank, lose more games in the playoffs, rest your guys, or do you go for the playoff push to the 8 seed? They're 4 games behind.
They're 4 games behind.
4 games behind the 8 seed.
So, 4 games behind the 8 seed. I think it all depends on what Portland's front office thinks about Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum.
And I think also what Memphis does too. Because if Memphis
just gets on this hot streak and just starts winning games, then
don't even try it. But if they lose some games at the start and you start winning some games, maybe you go. But this is what I think is good for the team that is nobody talks about right now because they're losing games. The Golden State Warriors. Why I think it was a good thing that they lost so many games, you can tell. All those seasons of playing in the finals and deep runs is catching up to them.
Yeah.
Players getting injured, whether they're on their team now or not. Kevin Durant injured. Andre Iguodala took so much time off, which is good for him. Steph Curry injured, Klay Thompson injured. The only guy that's not really injured from that team is Draymond. And Draymond plays the most physical style of any of those guys.
He does, yeah.
So to me, it's perfect that they're going to have this. And I think the biggest thing, they're the worst record in the NBA right now. if they keep losing and they get the 1 seed
They
somehow,
they get a 14% chance to get the number 1 pick. Where
if they get a top 3 pick, to me, you either do 2 things: you trade the pick or you draft somebody. And if you trade the pick, I think you get Devin Booker if you can. If he is
you think
available,
Devin Booker's worth just the first pick and not a player?
You're probably gonna have to give up a little more. But I think also the Suns might be desperate at that point. Because if Devin Booker wants out, they're going to be willing to take the number 1 pick, and that's it.
Do you think Devin Booker would be a good fit in Golden State with the Splash Brothers? So now it's a Splash trio.
Exactly. I mean, imagine you have Steph Curry at the 1, Devin Booker at the 2, Clay at the 3. I mean, Clay can defend just about anybody in the league. He can defend the 3.
Yeah, but then Devin Booker and Steph Curry are liabilities.
Steph Curry's underrated on defense. He's not
still a liability.
He's not a great defender, but he can guard the ones in the league. The only guys you can say he can't guard are Kyrie,
Russ.
But Russ really isn't good in the playoffs. He's not a very good team player. He's a little more stat padded. Mm-hmm. But guys Kyrie can't guard. But other than that, Eric Bledsoe on the Bucks, if that's the finals matchup, he can guard him.
Kemba.
Kemba's not a great defender either, so that you're kind of canceling each other out there.
Yeah.
So you get another great guard who can then carry the mantle of the Splash Brothers when they retire, they get older.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond.
He's getting a little up there.
And then you have Andrew Wiggins, who we haven't even talked about too.
Yeah.
So you get to go real small ball with that lineup. That's
your death lineup. I think they wait to see.
That's the new death lineup. Oh. But otherwise, you could even throw in Wiggins in there. I mean, if I were the Warriors and you have the number 2 pick or number 3 pick, and you have Wiggins, and they say we'll take the number 3 pick, Andrew Wiggins, and we'll give you Devin Booker and maybe another piece. I accept that from the Warriors, and if I'm the Suns, I accept it too because Wiggins isn't terrible. You're getting the number 3 pick, and maybe you get a future first again too. But that's just kind of what was going through my mind.
Yeah.
But that's only if Devin Booker wants out. If Devin Booker does not want out of Phoenix, I repeat myself. I'll say it 100 times. Do not trade Devin Booker unless he wants out. And the first thing you do if he wants out is you try to get him to stay. Mm-hmm. You try to ask him what he wants to do. Otherwise, if last case scenario, last resort, he wants to go, then you get rid of him. But if you've gone through every scenario, you try to keep him as much as possible.
I think the Warriors use this season to see how the Rockets do. Because right now the Rockets are going to go super small ball. So now the Warriors, I think they look at this experiment, they see what's going to happen, see how it fares against the Jazz, who have a dominant big man. And if it goes well, I think they do what you do, which is try to get Devin Booker, try to get another shooter.
And you can do that in the draft too. If there's somebody in the draft you really like, then you can go for it too.
Try to get a shooter, and then run a small ball death lineup.
Oh yeah.
But if the Houston thing doesn't work out or fails spectacularly, then I think they try to switch up their plan. Maybe use this first-round draft pick on James Wiseman if they get the number 1, or maybe another really good college big man, and then build around Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond.
And the other thing is, too, the Warriors, if those players come back, if Steph is able to play, Klay able to play, you don't play them. Mm-hmm. You bench them for the rest of the season. I even do it with Draymond now. I say, Draymond, you're done. And if Draymond's mad, he'd be like, dude, you played countless seasons in a row. Go do, we want you to be, we don't care right now. We're trying to tank a little bit, but we're not worried about winning games, closing out this season. We know we're going to be one of the top 3 picks, more than likely. So let's just calm down. Don't play basketball, do workouts, stuff like that, but don't hurt yourself. You played countless years in a row. I think you played on the USA team, too, that year. The 1 year, so it's dude, calm down, take a break, come back next year, better than ever, and then you're going to have a fresh team, basically, that's had 10 months off, 11 months off after playing 5 years in a row. That will be big. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this episode 3 of Crashin' the Boards. I'm Joe Sudbeck.
I'm Jack Pernicki.
And you've been listening to Crashin' the Boards.